Have you ever met someone on an online dating site and thought, wow, this guy is perfect for me, or she is simply amazing, only to find out they were hiding a deep, dark secret? They plan to vote for Hillary. FreedomLovers.us was created for singles who want to exchange ideas and a love for freedom. People who are looking for solutions to create and defend freedom in the real world, and at the same time, getting that once-in-a-lifetime chance to find their true soulmate. Whether you are interested in meeting your soulmate, making new friends, networking, or hanging out with that like-minded liberty lover, visit freedomlovers.us. It's the first free dating site and community. So patriots, don't waste your time with other dating sites. freedomlovers.us is the place where like-minded singles really click.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on UnitedStates.fm network. This is the hour about love. You know, one of the most beautiful things of this show that I had the opportunity to experience the last 3 years was the opportunity to learn things and facts and beliefs and meet people, incredible people, that probably I would have never had the chance before. Seriously. I mean, it is not just a local show here in the tri-state area. I had a chance to meet listeners that they also became guests from Denmark, Sweden, Germany. I mean, all over the world. And I'm really humble. And I really thank you, by the way. Because as I said, for me, it's an opportunity to learn. Now, you know, I keep my religious belief for myself. I really believe that it's something personal. I don't like to, you know, go out and preach to anybody. I don't believe in preaching because I'm a sinner myself, so what am I doing? But I always like to learn. And in my library, that I have several thousand books, I like to learn everything, every belief. I may sometimes agree with them or not, doesn't matter, but there is always something good to learn. Always. Not always, almost. For example, I have only an exception, and I still read their books. The exception for me when there is a religion out there, or a belief, that wants to use force to coerce others into conversion. I don't care which religion, I have a problem with that. But any other person who believes in something that is respectful to others, I always encourage not just to learn for myself, but also like to share it. And I've been sharing on the air here. You know, I had Sorina from Denmark, emigrated from Denmark to Canada just, you know, a few weeks ago, either during Christmas time or Julie, as she called it. And I think it was beautiful. I really enjoyed, by the way. I started to learn about Asatru belief, and I tell you, the values, regardless that people may believe in not in their gods, doesn't matter. There are some incredible experience to learn, even from, you know, as a value, as a philosophical aspect. I think is an amazing thing. And of course, I have some idiots that I had to block on Facebook that immediately, they don't wait a second to start to come after you, and on top of my Facebook page, to start to preach at me. I'm not a good Christian. Screw you. I tell you again, screw you twice. How dare you, first of all, to tell me what am I? How dare you to tell me what I can read or cannot read and judge me? So, seriously, this is exactly the spirit of the show. It's called Love, Guns, and Freedom. And that's part for me of love and also part of our freedom. So that's why I say, you know, I always invite anybody who has, of course, now this is something that I was expecting a phone call, but I always invite everybody that I can to pretty much talk about anything they want. This is the spirit of the show. Let me see who is calling here. Okay, I think somebody that needs to wait. Anyway, so now let me shut up and let's go straight to the point. I have two incredible guests. By the way, one of them I already had them probably a year ago because he's not just, let's say, a person into this belief, but also is a great, let's say, survivalist, medical nurse. We will see exactly more into details. ER guy. I mean, somebody that he knows how to fix you in case you have to for emergency situation. But let's go straight to the point. We have Vincent Enlund, and I have also Chuck Hudson. I think one for sure is from Mesa, Arizona, and Chuck, I think, is from New Mexico. Are you there, guys?
Exactly. That's right.
Good.
I'm ready.
I hope I didn't distort your names. I hope I got you clear. Normally, I'm pretty famous to distort everybody's name. All right, let's start. Let's start with Chuck. Chuck, remember we had a nice conversation probably about maybe 1 year ago or so regarding your expertise that normally you do as a profession, not only in helping people to feel better in an emergency situation, but also how to teach as survivalist people that normally they're into prepping, how to be prepared to, let's say, have some emergency situation and first aid situation. Remember a little bit what we talk about, who you are as a professional.
Well, yeah, we talked about, I teach emergency alternative survival medicine, making do with what you have to fix whatever you need. We used to call it, in the military, called it a ditch medic. Mm-hmm. Whatever's in the ditch is what you got to work with.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was a great time we had.
Very exciting. I like your information. And by the way, you put me also in contact with another great lady, Kat Ellis, that hopefully I pronounced it right too.
Oh, yeah.
And I had her on the show a couple of times. Okay, perfect. Now we go from Chuck, of course, and I was talking now with our other friend that I wanted to ask you from Mesa. What's going on, Vincent? What are you doing there in Mesa, Vincent?
Well, I am a graphic designer.
Okay.
And martial arts instructor. So I spend most of my time on the computer and then some of my time's in the classroom.
Very good. Now, let's go straight exactly to the point. What is exactly, if you want to identify in wars, what is your belief system? What do you believe and exactly how you call it? I mean, go ahead. I don't want to talk for you, even if I may imagine, but I don't want to guess. Go ahead.
Well, it's I guess the term the more common term I guess you'd say is Asatru, which is an Icelandic word, means true to the Aesir, true to the gods. Mm-hmm. Over the last I'd say Vince, 20 years, it's changed now to most of us just call ourselves heathens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does it mean? What does it mean exactly?
That's become a really general term that a lot of people have used because Asatru can be so varied. And heathenry covers a broader, more European kind of sense. A lot of people have gone to that term. Mm-hmm. And it's become very common, not only in Europe, but in the United States as well. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Am I right? Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Luca.
I wanted to explain a little bit the term heathen, exactly heathen, what means, if you can give it a translation, because maybe many people may not even know what it means, and they think it's just a bunch of wild people running naked in the bush, That's normally what...
No, that's the Wiccans.
Okay, no, you see, we try to learn here, and I know, by the way, but I'm trying to, always try to give the people that maybe they may not know that there is a difference, and by the way, I like to...
I get this question in classes all the time.
Go ahead, please.
I lecture at some of the colleges about this. So, Asatru, just so people know, it simply just means belief in the old gods. It means true to the old gods. Mm-hmm. That's all that means. Heathen is an old European term that actually originally came from the Catholic Church. It literally just means someone who lives outside of town, who lives in the heath. As at the point in time that the term was designed, if you were Christian, you lived in town, which evolved around the church. The church built the walls. And so if you were Christian, you lived in town. If you weren't Christian, you lived out in the countryside.
Interesting.
You lived in the heath. And so that became just this descriptive term for those people who didn't follow the new God. They were referred to as heathens.
I see. Very interesting. By the way, I didn't know this particular thing. I thought, my knowledge that I knew, somebody also is close to the nature, close to the earth, and But of course, I like this new thing that I learned. That you're right. If you didn't believe in the Catholic Church, you will run from them because they chop your head. Let me tell you.
That's right.
And this is coming from somebody who used to be a Catholic myself, and I grew up in Rome, and I know that probably if I was there 150 years ago with a big tongue that I have, a big mouth that I have, they would have probably chopped it in pieces. Trust me. So I understand, and I don't even need to be a heathen to have my head chopped in Rome with the Pope. All you have to do is disagree with him. That's it. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very good. And that's exactly what I like about the heathen religion. Let me tell you, even I'm not a heathen, I tell you, the spirit of independence, and correct me if I'm wrong, the spirit that you don't bow down to no man, okay? That's for sure.
No.
And that's what I like, because I feel the same, and I think that's for me one of the first things say, wow, I like these people. These are the type of people I want to be around. So go ahead. Even we are not the same. You see, we have something in common. We don't want to bow down to anybody. We want to be free. Go ahead.
Well, also true, though. It's in the modern sense, it's fairly new. It originally came to life about 1970, 1972. Mm-hmm. I've been heathen about the same amount of time. My father was. He's the one that he discovered it, and he taught me. And for the longest time, I thought that was, there was nobody else like me. Back in the old days, before the internet, I mean, everything was done by letter or, believe it or not, ads in Mother Earth News or what was it, Countryside Magazine or
Country
Grit.
Magazine, the blue sheets.
Wow.
The blue pages. Oh, my gosh. What was it, Vortru?
Yep.
Or it's Vortru. In the old days, also, the original AFA used to have a publication called Vortru.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a newsletter, came out monthly, and it was on what we called then mimeograph. It was a purplish ink, smelled horrible, but they were called the blue pages, and I still have a few of those copies left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some in my library.
Yeah, and watching it grow over the years, I mean, it's grown and it's exploded. By exploded, I mean we had huge fights, people broke up, groups broke up, and now I guess it's settled down for the time being into basically 3 national groups. My kindred, and I know most of Vince's kindred, we keep it local. Because a good example is, the way we worship here in New Mexico or in the Southwest, it's quite similar. But you go up to the Pacific Northwest or you go up to New York or Maine, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like the differences in somebody from Maine going to Louisiana and trying to understand the language.
Yes.
And we have found by keeping it local, you get better touch with the local we call them landvetter, land spirits. In Iceland, they'd call them elves or dwarves in some fashion of it. But here, we call them land spirits. We have house spirits, land spirits. And by keeping it local, this is my personal belief, you keep in better touch with them. And our kindred started, 17 years ago. And we were an offshoot of one of the oldest kindreds in the country, and it was called Keeper of Seasons Hall. And literally, that's what we did. We celebrated according to the seasons instead of a calendar. Because, only 2 days really were celebrated on the calendar. One's midsummer, and the other is Yule. Other than that, though, I mean, you couldn't say, it's October 31st, it's time for winter's night. You know as well as I do, living in the Southwest, it could be 15 degrees or it could be 115 degrees.
Yeah.
You just can't go by a calendar. And Vince, he's our kindred's called Mountain Haven. Vince has a really nice kindred in Arizona. He's been doing this a couple of days too, haven't you?
Yeah, for a while. Well, the kindred's been around for 17 years now. I've been Asatru since I was 15.
Wow.
Yep.
And that was in South Dakota. So I became Asatru in South Dakota. Basically, I had a falling out with the church that I was very, very active with. So my family were Lutherans, Swedish Lutherans. And so I was very active with the church. And I had a falling out due to some issues with my family and whatnot. And decided that Christianity, be whatever it is, I couldn't participate in the church anymore. That part was done. And so I just went looking. I went and read about every kind of religion I could find, and I went to any type of organized church or any place that would have me, and just kind of at the end of 2 years of what the Indians like to call a vision quest, I just said, you know what, screw this. This is all really, really just weird, and I can't do it anymore. I'm just going to do what my ancestors did. I worked for them for 30,000 years, and everything was fine. So I'm just going to go do that. At the time, being in South Dakota back in the day, no computer, no internet, just I had no idea that other people felt that way. So I was just doing it on my own. And it wasn't until I got to college and moved to Arizona that I realized that freaking people all over the world were doing what I was doing.
Interesting. I have a question for you. As I said, I'm learning. I may say stupid things or I may ask stupid things. First of all, let's say if I pronounce it right, because I give it my Italian twist. Asatru. Am I doing it right or not?
Yeah.
Okay,
actually,
good.
no, that's closer to the right way than how I say it.
Perfect.
So.
Okay, just to be sure. Okay, Asatru, how do you, let's say, is there a ceremony? I know, for example, if you want to become a Christian, technically you need to go through the baptismal part, okay? If you want to become an Asatru, okay? What is the ritual, if there is any? I'm just curious.
Hey. It varies by kindred.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody got their different system.
Very tribal.
Oh, tribal. Okay.
Yes, tribal is a very good term. We don't have a Bible that says you will do it this way at this time at this day.
Okay.
We have kind of general guidelines, like we call it, like the Havamal.
Okay.
It's the second book of the Poetic Edda. There is nothing in there, thou shalt not do XXX.
Yes.
It says, let me give you some advice. It's not a good idea to walk on thin ice in hot weather. It's literally stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but no. Now, some kindreds have a very detailed and very, I'd almost say, dogmatic ceremony for welcoming in somebody from, whatever outside faith. Our kindred is very simple. We believe it or not, actually, in our kindred, not everybody is Asatru or heathen. The original founders of our kindred included a Mormon, a Seventh-day Adventist, an agnostic, and a Jew, and the rest are heathens.
Wow, interesting. Wow.
That's found. But see, we live as a tribe.
I see.
Everybody is considered equal. And the only thing that we ask, we are also true, and everybody is welcome at our celebrations. We celebrate every month. We only ask that you do not hail any gods other than ours. And if you're not also true, you wait till the second round goes around, and then it's it's kind of a saying called host, ghost, and boast. Doing what we call a bloat. It's BLOT. First round is to the god or goddess that we're honoring. The second round of the horn is where it's ancestors.
Okay.
We remember an ancestor. We're very similar to the Japanese in the fact that we venerate our ancestors.
Okay.
And then the third round is boasting.
What does it mean, boasting? I'm
or
sorry.
Singing.
Singing? Okay.
My kids got straight A's in high school today, or my wife is the most beautiful woman on the planet. Boasting, or anything you want.
I see.
We say host, ghost, and boast.
I see. Great. Okay, very good. Something
But other kindreds are different.
I see. Question. Go ahead, please.
The
Is it
simple
Chuck?
thing, which is
Go ahead.
what Chuck was just talking about, I think is one of the universal things. I've met a lot of different kindreds and a lot of different Asatru people around the whole U.S. and the world. And bloat is one of those things that is pretty universal. Well, at least the stumble part, what Chuck was just talking about, the 3 rounds.
The stumble part of it, right.
Host, ghost, and boast is pretty much done that way all over the world, as well as all over the U.S. I mean, in Spain, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland.
Northern Italy.
Yes, I see.
All of that. And I think that has to do with the ancestral worship.
Now, I'm just curious, guys. What is, I'm sure you know your bloodline. For example, Chuck, where is you're from? Your great-great-grandfather. You have an idea? Did you trace them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It depends on which side of the family. On my mother's side of the family, my family is Apache and Spanish from Spain.
Okay.
Okay. On my father's side of the family, they are Swede and Basque.
I see. Okay.
Blood. You want to get in a good fist fight. Bring that up at a big gathering. You'll have one hell of a good fist fight on your hands.
Question: you don't need to be, let's say, a Norse blood to become an Asatru. So you can be also, let's say, a Greek guy.
You're right. This is me.
Yeah.
Me, I say no.
Okay, but
because if you show me a pure blood American, I'll eat my hat.
Yeah.
They're the gods call who they want, but that's my belief.
Okay.
Now, I do, in one fashion, it's I'd rather associate with my kindred.
Yes.
If that makes sense, I got friends. From all different walks of life, all different religions, sexual orientations, colors, creeds, backgrounds. But my kindred it's my tribe. We're very, like I said, Vince said, we're very tribal.
Yeah.
And not all kindreds are like that. I
see. Question, you can answer me wherever you want. Let's start to talk a little bit. I like always to learn about all these things, and I've been studying a little bit. By the way, I'm enjoying lately at night reading this book called The Poetic Edda that I'm sure you're very familiar. And as I said, there are different layers of understanding. Of course, I'm just scratching the surface because, there is so much... not only wisdom, but also meanings, and sense that you can you can read the same line in 3 different ways, okay? So it's kind of exciting the way it was written. Now, let's start to share a little bit, who are your gods? Because sometimes people think, oh my God, they are worshiping the devil. I don't even think you believe in the devil. Am I right or not?
Well, we don't worship the devil because we don't actually believe the devil exists. So that would be very difficult.
Exactly. That's what I heard. But I want just to be sure from you. So tell me exactly what is your belief. Exactly, you have the different gods. Give us the name of the gods and exactly who they are, so we can learn something. Go ahead.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, Vince, you'll start off.
Yeah, I'll start off. I'll give you a few. So according to most historians, there were probably across the European landscape about 64 gods and goddesses. I can't tell you that many. I could maybe give you a dozen, but I could start with some big ones like Thor, commonly considered the god of thunder, the common man's god, the working man's god, and his wife Sif. Also, a common person's god, family gods. These gods are very important in Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, especially where they were very popular because they were related to the people, husband, wife, they had kids, and they were very active in their community, both as protectors and as workers and supporters. And so these were very much common people's gods that lots of villages and tribes regularly made offerings to. Sif being the golden hair goddess, the goddess of wheat and growth, and Thor, obviously, a warrior god, the god of thunder, and the protector and the father figure. And there's two off mine. I'll go Chuck. Chuck can do two now.
Go ahead.
Two of mine, like he went for the one I personally identify better with is Thor, but Odin, we call him the Allfather. He's the leader of the tribe of what's called the Aesir. That's one tribe of the god. There's two tribes of gods. There's Aesir and the Vanir. But of the Aesir, Odin is the leader of it, and his wife Frigga. Frigga is the goddess of the home, of the house. She is Odin's wife. She knows everything that he does, but she rarely says anything. And it's not above her, though. There's no such thing today, and even back in the old days, a woman's place is barefoot and pregnant. Because there's been many times that Odin's wife Frigga got over on him big time, but those two there are the Vanir side. The Aesir are more I guess you could say the sky gods. Yeah. But then on the Vanir side of it, these are more the gods of the gentle side of the earth. Freya and Freyr, they're brother and sister. Freyr is the god of the elves. He's god of fertility. And then Freya, his sister, is commonly misconstrued as a goddess of love and sex. But that's really just a very small portion of her. She's really the leader of the Valkyrie. She gets first choice of the dead even over Odin.
Wow.
There's a term about Freya. She says, if you can't lay him, slay him. But
okay, interesting. Let me ask you something. So you have there is a god for every situation, okay? And no, I mean, let's say for example, you want to pray for fertility. Your wife said, "Please, a goddess of fertility, give me a great child, or give me a child, give me a son, whatever." Who will you pray, for example?
Believe it or not so much to the gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me. Yeah.
That's
go ahead, Vince.
Okay, I was going to say, we spend much more time, ideally, as heathens, our first prayer or calls to would actually go to our ancestors.
Okay.
So if we're married and we're having trouble getting pregnant and we really want to, we'd make offerings to our ancestors far before we went to the gods.
Okay.
And we talk to them, we talk to the land wights and to those closest to us. And those closest to us would be our dead ancestors that are watching over us and are nearest to us. And so that would be where we would pray to first. Right. On the god end, we have a tendency to identify the gods because we're polytheistic. A lot of people who are new have a tendency to identify the gods to these very small brackets that they're known for. Thor is the god of thunder. Freya is the goddess of sex, that kind of thing. But really, these were regional gods that probably had, for existence, a tribe in Sweden maybe only prayed to one or two gods. They knew about the other ones, but they had one or two gods that they made offerings to regularly and that they prayed to regularly, but only for big times of the year. Again, like midsummer and maybe Yule. The rest of the time, they were making offerings to the land wights or land spirits or to their ancestors. And so that's who you'd go to most for that type of help. that type of spiritual guidance.
I see. Another thing I was going to ask you guys, sorry. So you define yourself as a polytheist, and also, am I right if I look at this also as, let's say, animism? Because don't you look at the nature that gods could be in every part of nature? Am I right or wrong? Maybe I'm just guessing here.
I would say that that's a little off. We are very close to nature.
Yes.
We believe that nature and our connection to the land whites is important. But we're hard polytheists. We believe the gods are gods.
Okay.
And there's multiple of them.
I see.
Not just ours, but other people. There's other people's gods, and there's a lot of gods out there.
Okay.
And also, we're very adamant about against all gods are the face of one.
Yeah, that's
I hear that a lot, and and for me, I've known nothing else. I've been this way for 53 years.
Wow.
This is all I've known. Yes, I've gone to Christian churches. I've tried it out. I've looked at them and I've studied them. And the thing that got me, and it's, is that no matter what, you're wrong. That's just my observation of it. You are born, according to the Bible, in original sin. You are already wrong when you're born. We don't see that. We don't have the same moralities and the same concept of sin. In a way, we could say we have our own but realistically, though, I've read the Bible many times. I kind of understand it. I think Jesus was probably one of the greatest people that ever walked this earth, and if more of his followers behaved like him, it'd be a better place. But also, though, we don't have turn the other cheek.
I agree.
That is definitely nowhere near part of our religion.
But
also, too, we have a part that it is you're supposed to be armed.
Yeah.
It's told. It's in. It's like I said. We don't have a Bible. We have a book of good advice.
Okay.
And
who wrote it? Who wrote this book, guys? Who is the author? Who is the author of this book? I'm curious.
Well. Snorri Sturluson is kind of credited as the collector of the Younger Edda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Elder Edda, the Poetic Edda, is put together mostly by Christian monks of the Middle Ages. On when was the Codex Vitics written, Vince?
Oh, the Codex I think was written in like the 9th century.
Yeah, 9th century.
Basically, the total sum was probably put together by 6 priests, but within the priest writings of the Codex, they talk about where the different parts of the Havamal came from. And so most historians think that 3 poets over a span of about 100 years actually wrote the Havamal.
Right.
I see. I have a
question.
question.
You can tell the differences in the writing.
Yeah. So the poetic,
like when you read it. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I would say the Poetic Edda, and also there is the other one is the Prose Edda. I think what is it called?
Prose Edda.
Yeah, because I bought that too. I didn't start that yet. I'm reading it. So there are different ages. I mean, they're different time clock. I mean, in different time of history.
No,
it's the same.
Different points of view.
Different points of view. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So,
I learned a lot of things tonight. Now, I have a very important question.
Which is the older or the Elder Edda, is supposed to be, according to Snorri, actual writings of stories that he witnessed and stuff like that, and then pages from the other collections. Whereas the Prose Edda, Snorri came right out and said that he made that up.
I see.
Now we don't know if it's actual lore, but he wrote it specifically as a teaching aid to teach people how to write in that fashion.
I see.
So it might be real lore, but it might not.
I see. Interesting. Question I have for you. You don't go out and start to preach to others, knocking at people's doors and, bring...
No.
No, I never see you guys. I mean, that's pretty... And I like that. And honestly, I like that part of you.
Unhospitable.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing...
I mean, we get...
Go ahead.
We get folks over here. We got in fact, I know the young LDS elders that come around on their bicycles, and in the wintertime, when it's a blizzard, I'll give them a ride, and they've come over to the house, and they will ask, and we talk to you about, and we say no, thank you, and we explain that no, this is not our faith, this is our faith, and most of the time they're pretty good, and they just say okay, and have a good day, God bless you. And one time they were talking to my wife, and they were asking her all sorts of questions about it, and she says no, this is not our faith, this is our faith. And the guy says, you seriously believe that? And she points right by our front door is our house altar. And she says, look at this. What do you think? And the guy says, oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, he says, well, God bless you. And Christine, my wife, says, well, Thor bless you too.
Yeah.
No, it's wrong. It's inhospitable. It's invading people's space, the way I see it. Can I talk to you today about the All-Father Odin?
Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. This is funny because I tell you guys, I was born Catholic. In Rome, you have not many options. The moment you're born is automatically they give you the Catholic's rubber stamp. And then when I grew up with my personality, are you loading up a gun there? Here, sounds like you're sliding it. Okay.
No, sorry, we're moving some stuff.
If you want, I can join you with the noise. Okay. Okay. Anyway, but beside that, what I was saying, one thing I never liked it when I was a Catholic, the idea that I had to bow down in front of another man. And guess what? I'm proud of myself. At 14, I had a chance one day to meet a man, and I didn't bow down. And of course, I got slapped from the rest of my family, but I don't care. I was so proud. I said, what the heck are we doing here? It's just another man, okay? And I refused to bow down. And anyway, and from that day, I started to say, you know what? There is something wrong here. Then when you study history, you say, you know what? As you said before, if these people would have really followed the teaching of Christ, they would be better people. The problem is that they use religion as a form of control power for the masses, because at the end of the day, there is nothing really what Christ said. Christ, one thing I like about Christ, he said, not judge others, do not judge others, and look at yourself before you judge others. And one thing I'm noticing now, even I'm not, let's say, Asatru or whatever you are, just because I talk about these things, that's why I like to talk about it, because I just like to irritate people out there. Just because I talk about that and I study your books, at least I start to learn, I start to have interest into it. I have so much crap from some idiots that I'm so glad, because at least, on Facebook, it takes a second. I just flip them off with a block button, okay? And I have these people come to me, like almost bringing holy water, try to sprinkle it on me and say like, oh my God, what are you doing? I say, well, how dare you tell me what am I doing? That's the bottom line. That's part of these people that I really don't like. And one thing I like about you guys, that you don't go out, you don't judge, you mind your business. And for what I read so far, I don't see anything in your book that says that, hey, if you don't convert, we chop your head, like the Muslims. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, it's with our faith, it's very. I mean, I'm open about my faith. I don't tell people. I don't go out and with a big old hammer and say I am heathen. But if somebody asks me about it, I have no problem in answering them honestly.
No, that's fine. But you go on your book and I know that, but I'm just trying to confirm. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. In your book, is there any passage that says to be a good heathen, you must convert everybody else who is not, and if you do not convert, you chop their head, okay? Or you tax them like the Dima, okay? No. That's the bottom line, because that's what the Muslims do. That's why I draw the line. I respect everybody, but when you have in your book that to be a good, whatever religion you have to convert me with force or make me pay a tax like a B citizen, you have a big problem with me. But that's why
no.
That's what I want to know. That's all I care. That's it.
Nothing like that. Well, like I said, we don't even have a Bible. We have a collection of stories that kind of give us a glimpse back into what the life was. We have a collection of stories that give us advice. Mm-hmm. But there is, like I said before, there is nothing, you shall do this. It says, well, it's a good idea if you listen to me. Yeah. But, like one of them here, like I said, how we don't have anything like turn the other cheek. One of the things says, he who must rise early, who wants to have another's wealth or life, seldom does a lying wolf get a ham or a sleepy man victory. Mm-hmm. Basically means get off your butt and do something. Okay. Because the guy that's lazy ain't going to get nothing done. Let
me see what I learned so far, if I'm good. Because, as I said, I really like to study everything, okay? Regardless, even just for philosophical values or whatever. Mm-hmm. Asatru, virtues. Every religion normally has some virtues, okay? Courage. Number one, or at least one of the tops. Truth. What's wrong with that? Courage. Honor. What's wrong with that? Fidelity. Discipline. Hospitability. Hope I say right. Industriousness. Means, you're going to work. You're not a lazy bastard, okay? Self-reliance. For the preppers, this is great. I love that. And perseverance. Are these the 9 noble virtues of Asatru? Am I right or wrong?
Yes and no.
Okay, tell me, because that's what I started. Maybe I got the wrong
No,
book.
it is and it isn't.
Okay, go ahead.
It's one of those things. It came about in the 70s.
Okay.
But there is nothing to say that there wasn't something like it. But like the Ten Commandments or like that, no. We have nothing like that. But that is a good representation of what majority of heathens believe.
Okay, as a virtue, as a noble virtue. I didn't say this is a commandment. It's a noble virtue for Asatru. That's what I was trying to say. So
I like to tell people to think of them like an ethos.
Mm-hmm. Ethos, exactly. From the Greek person, values, like some sort of I understand. Wow.
It's a beginning guideline.
Exactly. Guidelines. Very good. Very good. Okay, guys, question. Did you get, I'm curious because, I see for myself, this is kind of an interesting interaction with even among my Facebook friends, that normally we agree on most of the things, but man, I never got so much BS when I started to talk openly that normally I do everything, especially on my Facebook page. Nobody's going to tell me what I can talk or not about Asatru and heathenism. Just because I was bringing some, and I'll do every time now, just because I need to, cull my Facebook population. When I see idiots, they don't need to be on my page. But my point is, did you get any type of hard time when you go out and or in your meetings, or maybe at your events, somebody come on your face and say, "How dare you, bastard! If I could, I would put you on the stake and burn you." I mean, serious. I really believe someone. No, I'm not kidding.
That would be entertaining.
No, I understand.
It happens.
But
it happens.
Go ahead. Tell me your stories.
Yeah. Well, here's one. It was Pagan Pride Day. My kindred, we have a little booth over there, and Pagan Pride Day is it used to be where all the people of different pagan faiths, which we fall into that category, had a little thing to teach other people about their religion, about their faith.
Okay.
Well, there was a very, very devout fundamentalist, Christian fundamentalist, that was going around, and he was just berating people. You are going to burn in hell. He's just going pure Westboro Baptist Church on everybody.
Gee.
And he comes up to my table, and by this time I'm about 3/4 mad. He comes up and he's up in my face and he's yelling at me saying, "We're going to burn in hell." And I finally said, "Listen, shut up. Unlike my other pagan brothers and sisters, I have no problem killing you where you stand."
Oh, gosh. Did you say that?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. What
I
happened?
said that to him.
Oh, my God.
And he takes off and he comes back with the police.
Of course.
And a young sergeant from Albuquerque Police Department comes up to me and says, "Did you threaten to kill him?" I said, "No." I said, "I had no problem killing him where he stood. I didn't say I was going to do it." And the cop just started to laugh also.
Wow.
And at this time, my kindred members, my son falls off his chair, hits his head on a tree.
Oh, gosh.
Another one of the ladies, she's laughing so hard that she falls off her chair, and she's just laying on the ground, totally unladylike, laughing.
Yeah.
And then one of the people next to us said, "That was pretty rude."
Well,
that's heathens. Okay.
That's heathens. Yep.
Okay, but that's pretty much
Vince?
and I can see. Go ahead, Vince. Give me some story yourself.
Okay, so I don't know. That's a good story. It's happened so many times with me. I think probably the best story, the funniest story, anyways. I don't like to get into the rough ones. I've had some
rough ones.
Oh, I've had some rough ones. I've had some incidents that I wasn't sure were going to turn out okay, but they turned out okay.
Okay.
But I think the funniest is we had some the Baptists came by the house knocking on the door because they opened up a new church.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife opens the door and asks, and it's an older gentleman and a younger gentleman. And they're talking to her about the church and would we like to come down to visit? But so by now I'm walking up behind her going to see what's going on. And she's like, no, we're not Christian. We're Asatru. And he's like, "Well, what's Asatru?" She goes, "We're heathen." And so he turns around. He immediately goes, "Well, you could still come to the church. Just because you're in the garage doesn't make you a car."
Oh gosh!
I said, "What?
What is it? A car? What is he talking about?" Oh my God!
I don't think I understand that. She goes, "Look, we don't believe in Christianity. We're just heathen." And so then the younger guy comes back with, "Well, how heathen are you?" She's like, "Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm not exactly sure. We'll put it at like a 7. How's that? Is that heathen?"
Oh my gosh! Oh my God! This is funny. Wow. Well, interesting, guys. Very good. Listen, I have a question also. Do you have like in other religions, at least organized religions, do you have like a prophet or a pastor or let's say, I don't know, somebody that wants to stand up on their chair and say, by the way, I got orders from the gods, you got to listen to me, or you go to wherever you want to go? You have any special like pope or
well, we don't have a pope.
I mean,
the closest
Well, yeah,
individual
is Hunter.
have-
No, wait, Hunter, he's got a hat.
oh, you have?
Oh, that's true.
Hunter-
He's got a hat.
Hunter's got a hat that says Asa Pope, and Gary's got a hat that says Asa Cardinal.
Okay.
Okay, so
Is it,
but
so this is real. I mean,
it's a long story from a long time ago. But no, we don't have a head of the church.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a head of the kindred, and that's about as far as Vince and I go, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. And,
But I mean, like I said, there are 3 national organizations,
mhm.
and
I used to be the head of one of the national organizations.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's just I have a hard time. Well, we did. I had a show called Raven Radio. It was on about 5 years,
Mhm.
and we talked about this exact same subject right here. And look how big the United States is. It is a huge country. Now, you go back 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 years, what we believed in Village X may be totally different than what was 2 or 3 miles down the road in Village Y. We did not, there was never any, I guess the closest thing to a national priesthood would be Uppsala. It's a place up in Sweden, the Great Hof.
Mhm.
But other than that, no, there's...
Yeah. And then the Hof that they just found 5 years ago outside of Burka.
Okay.
Right. And then now there's a new temple in Iceland that they're just building.
Yeah, I heard
But
about
no,
that.
we don't really have also true is too varied. It's a very local religion.
I see.
Another example is the deity that I worship as Thor here is not the same deity that the Swedes worship as Thor.
I see.
They got some of the same actions, the same, we see the thunder, the lightning, and that. But our Thor is for us here.
I see.
And it's a very local and very tribal way that we worship. Do all heathens worship that way? No. You got folks in the national organizations. They don't really have a head priest or a pope, but they got a leader that is very, very close.
Now,
I don't follow that.
I have a question. In numbers, every religion somehow has some numbers, and some they are more popular, some they are less. What do you think right now in the U.S., your religion/movement, how many people you think you are, guys?
In the U.S. or
Yeah.
globally?
Any numbers you think you can?
Both? Yeah.
Well, so it's pretty hard to have numbers set up because we don't tally this type of information, and it's not really out there.
Okay.
I've put some numbers together for some different organizations, and I use some math protocols that's used in marketing. So what I'm using is strategic marketing math programming to figure out, based on the numbers we do have, what we probably have conservatively globally. A lot of people don't like those numbers because I'll say something like, there's probably, if you include every country in the world, every version of heathenry that somebody chooses to follow, and don't exclude, you're not excluding the bad heathens like neo-Nazis and stuff like that, which are just douchebags.
Yeah.
So you're including prison inmates, you're including the worst and the best, and every part of the range. There's probably about 600 million globally.
Wow, that's a big
Now,
number.
that seems like a really big number,
Yeah.
but actually that's incredibly tiny on a global scale. That's less than Shinto.
Yeah, I understand. Honestly, I don't care because even if I was by myself, I believe what I believe. This is not about being a popularity contest. It's what you believe. Period. That's the
And
bottom
it's
line.
much larger outside of the United States than it is in the United States.
Okay, interesting. I know there is an event that I would like to I would like to explain a little bit more important, especially because the station is here in Mojave County. And I would like to ask you, what's going on with this event that you have in Kingman?
Oh, excellent. I love to talk about stuff that I do.
Go ahead, please.
So what we're doing is this is called Southwest Frith Moot. And this is a public event that that any.
Hello? Hello, guys, are you there? I think I lost you. I lost you. 1 second, Ollie. I'll call you back, okay? Are you there, Are you there,
We
guys?
can only host so many people at the event before we're at capacity.
I'm sorry, guys. There was a problem with the line.
So it's an open event. It's free. Anyone can attend. We're doing heathen stuff. We'll have heathen seminars and demonstrations, as well as demonstrations and classes that aren't necessarily heathen related. They're just cool stuff people like to know. Like we like to do medic classes if we can, or maybe home prepping or cooking classes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be heathen, but classes people that want to do. But heathen
then
classes.
Then we got the Viking games.
Yep, we do Viking games, axe throwing and hammer throwing, archery, and running contests. Yeah.
Foot races. Yep.
Give me again, please give me again the date and location, because there was a problem with the communication with the line when we were talking. Exactly the date and location of this event, please.
June 3rd to July 2nd. Or June 30th, sorry. June 30th to July 2nd.
And where, please? Where is exactly the location?
That one I got to pull really quick.
I got to look it up too. Willowpie. It's in Kingman.
Yep.
I just sent it to a friend of mine. Gosh. Oh, we can talk about being prepared for an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew it earlier, but my brain's dyslexic, so I can pull it up here.
I can't pronounce it.
Willowpie Mountain. Am I right?
And I can just pull up the
Willowpie Mountain. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. I sent it to you there. I sent it to you. Yeah, Willowpie Mountain Park in Kingman, Arizona.
Yes, I know the place very well. And
you beat me
do you have a website? I know there is also a website that you advertise the event. Can you please give it out?
Yes. And it is www.southwestfrithmoot.org.
Southwest.
I just sent it to you.
Yes, I have it in front of me open, and I want to just be sure that you repeat it, because your accent is better than mine when I say things like that. Probably people don't understand. All right, listen.
Well, you got to hear us after 2 bottles of mead.
By the way, I need to get this meat going. I'm really excited because, in Rome they had this sort of a mulsum. It was a wine with honey, and that was their version. But I want to taste this meat. I really want to.
One of my kindred. There's going to be lots of meat again. Last year, Vince. Last year we went through the first night. I think 30 bottles.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but yeah, it was. Then that was just starting out. Then the good stuff came out.
Yeah.
The thing about it is you'd think that you get so many people together from ultra liberal to ultra conservative to flaming gay to super straight together drinking that much alcohol. There's going to be fights.
Yeah.
And I think in the 8 years we've hosted Frith Moot, we've had 2.
Wow.
2.
If even that.
So far.
They didn't even they just got escorted out really quick.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. That's excellent. And I'm curious about what exactly do you sleep there? Do you have like a camping there? Do you camp there?
It's a camping event.
Yeah,
it's a camping event. Some people get hotel rooms that are closed because they don't want to camp. So we try to keep it someplace where it's close to places where people can get hotel rooms if they want. And there's a few that are close to this location. But most people camp.
I think
camping.
It's beautiful there. I mean,
we are too.
That idea, close to nature. I think that's a great opportunity. By the way, it's very nice there.
Well, I don't like to go very far when I'm drunk.
No,
I'm drunk a lot.
Exactly. And then I was thinking about you want to have fun, you want to relax, you don't want to, thinking about, oh my God, who's going to be the driver here? All right, listen, I give you the floor, guys. You got 5 minutes, whatever you want to say. You close this part, and I have to close it with other things. But you got the floor. Whatever message you want to say, it's up to you. Go ahead.
One thing, one of the big misconceptions about our faith is that we are absolutely, positively, 100% totally against Christianity in any way, shape, or form. We're not. Yeah. I don't care. Just, and it's like the holidays. I say Merry Christmas as often as I say Happy Yule. It's just, just be civil to each other. We figured it out after the last 1,000 years. It's just be civil to each other. It's not for everybody. And we don't want everybody, because you have to be, I guess you could call it, on the old website we had, Asatru Lore, you could call it a religion with homework.
Yeah.
Because there is so much to learn. I mean, it's like I said, the gods, the goddesses, the holidays, the days of the week, that's the little stuff. The big stuff is adjusting to what we call your worldview and how you look at the world through heathen eyes. Your turn, Vince.
How do you live as a heathen?
No, I understand. And I tell you, even I have different belief. I like it. People can say, oh my God, you go to hell. I don't care. I really still like your values. And I tell you, I find harmony when normally I talk. I didn't have many experiences, but a few people so far that I met, they believe in heathen and Asatru. I have a great compatibility as a spirit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe another life I was a wild heathen running from the Romans. I don't know what. Okay, but the point is, I believe in independence. I believe in freedom. I believe in respecting each other. I believe in the nature, courage, honor. I think they're all great things. And at that point, the most important, I believe that we should mind our business and we should not, as you said, go on other people's face. Everybody should do whatever they want until infringe on our rights. As simple as that. And I'm not here to judge others. Why should I? I mean, I don't want to be judged. Leave me alone. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you very much. And guess what? I want to say, my God willing and your God's willing, I'll see you there in June, okay?
Awesome.
That would be great.
Awesome.
All right, and I want to get this meet. You need to direct me the right direction, okay? I need to bring my sleeping bag there, okay? So I can have a little fun too. All right, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, okay? Let's be in touch.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
Take care.
All right.
Nice night.
That was beautiful. I really enjoyed this, and I'm really always looking forward to learn new stuff. Now, little break, and then we close this hour. I'm going to, give you some more erotic poems, because last Sunday everybody was freaking out, especially the ladies. I got the great reviews. Thank you very much. And I will share more new erotic poems on my new book, Perfectly Crazy. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Do not go away.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go, we're back into the studio. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. This is Luca Zanna. The last few minutes, as promised, I will play for you. Not even playing, because this is going to be, let's say, recited. Is that the right word in English? I have no idea. I don't care. It's going to be my poems, some of my erotic poems. The last Sunday, they really hit the bottom. The bottom of what? I don't know, but let's play Prayer. I stand tall and hard under the stars. While you're praying on your knees, you caress my arms. You lift my spirit, going deep and far, until finally explodes like a shooting star. You can taste my love that is flowing inside you. The night is young. Now I will pray for you. Well, that was a different type of prayer. Hope some Catholic priest is not gonna get mad at me, but you know what? That's the way I like to pray. Of course, I pray to God too, but I digress. This is not the time, the place. Something a little more romantic. On the road. On the road, my thoughts get clear. Doubts disappear. Mile after mile I ride. You're always in my mind. You are the one. Well, that was kind of profound, I must admit it. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. This is the last part of the show. I'm going wild today. It's just about poems, poetry, different type of poetry. It's love, visions, and erotic poems by Luca Zanna. Oh my dear, I treasure life, but death I do not fear. Only regrets of our misloved. oh my dear. That was pretty profound too, I must admit it. Let's go something still kind of romantic. My universe. Sand. Ocean. Breeze. Night. Moon. Stars. You. My universe. Well. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. This is the hour about love. So we're allowed to do pretty much whatever we want. Love is not fair. Another little short poem I wrote. I really like this one. Your curves are the hills where I find comfort in moments of despair. Your lips are my water. Your breath is my air. Your breath is my air. Sorry, my English sucks. Nothing is forever. Love is not fair. I think we should go something deeper now. I think of you. I wake up in the morning and I think of you. I stare at the stars and I think of you. I drive on the highway and I think of you. I try to sleep and I think of you. I go shopping and I think of you. I make love with her and I think of you. I'm screwed. Wow. That's pretty weird, huh? Interesting. Anyway, we're almost at the end. Guess what? Now I'm going to give you the last one. Heavy duty. Hopefully the SEC is not going to listen. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do anything illegal, okay? The last one. I want to give you the best, the toughest, the deepest. Okay. This is going to be nice. Nothing wrong. Come on. Steve Ruby, don't freak out. The owner of the radio. Good night. Sometimes I wish the world would stop with us. Just you and me under these countless stars. Nothing but the sound of your breath while you lay your head on my chest, feeling the universe in and outside our bodies, getting lost for eternity in each other's arms. Good night. You know who you are. God's willing, I'll talk to you next Sunday. You've been listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca.